What's up, everybody? It's your boy Stevie the Black. That's STEVEE the Black. I'm back, and I'm here to give you another Eagles prediction video. Man, we got a tough one this Sunday at 4:25. It's the Eagles and the Seahawks. Oh Lord, help us, because Lord knows we gonna need it. Lord knows I don't know how we gonna win this game, bro. But we are now entering the toughest part of our schedule, bro. And we have to face the Seahawks, the Packers, and the Bengals. Three very tough teams. And no matter how bad Green Bay is looking, no matter how suspect Seahawks are looking, no matter how bad you think the Cardinals, the Bengals play, these are still very good teams with very good players. And we may have been able to squeeze out a win against Atlanta, and I'm happy about that. But now it's getting serious. Now it's a time where you got to go, bro. If we can go 4-0 in this stretch right here, if we can do that, if we can win out, I'm not saying we'll end up 12-4, but if we can win out, that is going to be amazing. But we got to take this one game at a time. So how are we going to beat the Seahawks? Their defense is elite. Always has been, always will be. And unless, obviously players go somewhere else. But I believe they love playing in Seattle. So who knows what it would take for them to split up. But we need a game plan. What worked against the Atlanta Falcons is running the football. So we run the football. What's going to work against the Seattle team? Running the football, and unfortunately, short passes, because any long pass will just benefit guys like Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor and those boys. It's just going to benefit them. And with our receivers sucking as much as they do, this is the only way to win. Maybe you dish out a long pass to Treggs, because we're going to need Treggs in this game. Atlanta, we didn't need him. We needed him in the Giants game. We only threw to him twice or four times, which is I don't understand. But we need to figure out if we're at this point the division is gone. That belongs to the Cowboys. But we're trying to get to the playoffs. And if we're going to get to the playoffs, we need every win we can get. I was listening to the Fourth and John podcast, and the dude from Fox 29 said it's not the end of the world if we lose to the Seahawks, but really it kind of is, because like I said, we need every win we can get. Beating the Seahawks is momentum building, and if we beat the Seahawks, that sends a message to the rest of the NFL. Hey, don't sleep on this Eagles team, okay? Yeah, the Cowboys are doing this. Yeah, the Seahawks look great. Yeah, this team looks good. Yeah, that team looks good. But we cannot we cannot just let the Eagles slip on by, because our defense is top 5. Their offensive line in Seattle, it's not that great. We need to figure out a way to contain Russell Wilson. We need to figure out to get pressure in his face. But that's the thing. You get pressure, he's similar to Dak. He just runs the other way. And then he can throw the ball out or what. But we need to sack this man. We need to do whatever we can to get at this man. We need to make him feel unsafe. You know how Cam was saying, oh, I don't feel safe playing? I'm not saying hurt this man, but if we make him feel unsafe, make him feel uncomfortable, get the pressure in his face, like, oh, man, I'm about to get hit, I don't know what to do, then we need to do that. We need to run the ball. It ain't about reaching 100 yards or 200 yards, but getting the run sprints that we need for the moments that we need them. It's about the receivers stepping up, especially in this game. And here's the thing, really. No matter what the receivers do the rest of the year, whether they start catching balls or not, they're still getting released. They still need to be released. Aguilar and DGB especially. I would say we need to keep Jordan Matthews because he's only a number 2, but if you have a number 1, it's going to force him to step up his game, and he'll start catching more balls because, they're not going to me because I'm the primary receiver. But if we get a Deshaun Jackson, or if we get an Alphon Jeffrey or whatever like that, and we start throwing to those guys and they're catching balls, Jordan Matthews is going to get mad. He's going to want to step up his game, so every time Wentz throws him that ball, he's going to catch the ball and not drop it. Because there were a couple passes in that Atlanta game where I'm like, bro, again? Come on, Jordan. You're supposed to be our number 1 guy, even though you're a number 2. So a way to win this game, receivers need to step up. We need to get that run game going. That's how we beat Atlanta. That's how we're going to do that. And unfortunately, we need to do some short passes, maybe combined with a little bit. We can't turn the ball over. We turn the ball over. Oh my God, help us. Can I predict a score? I don't believe I predicted this. I did predict the score for the Atlanta game. I said if we were going to win that game, it was going to be something like, if it was close, it was going to be like 28-20, and if it was far away, I said something else, which I think I wasn't far off from my prediction. I said like 21-15 or something like that, which is almost close to what it was actually. But we need to think of something here. The Falcons have the number one offense in the league. They score at least 30 points a game, and we held them to 15 points. That is the number one scoring offense. Not the Cowboys, not the Giants, not the Redskins, not the Patriots, but the Atlanta Falcons. And we stopped them. And you know what? People aren't giving us credit, and I understand that but then again, we're undefeated at home, 4-0 at home. And that's at home. When we're on the road, we look like trash. We look like garbage. If we were at home, bro, I'd give us a shot. But if you remember, 2 years ago, in 2014, we were also undefeated at home. And then Seattle rolled up in there, and they ended that. They stopped that. So obviously that's not good. But thankfully we're in their house. It's hard to win there, just like it's hard to win in Foxborough. But we did that last year. I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. If we're gonna win this game, everybody needs to be doing their job. Everybody needs to be clicking. The offense, the receivers, the running backs. Wentz needs to be on his game too. Wentz is always on his game. You know he makes a mistake here and there, but Wentz needs to be on his game. The defense needs to step up, get that pressure on Russell Wilson. Make sure nobody's catching balls. And the special teams, you need to pop out, give us down to like the 45, maybe the 35. Heck, run all the way down to the touchdown if you can. Do that. But this needs to be that New England game from last year. We pulled this off. We beat Seattle. We're going to send a statement to the rest of the NFL. They're going to say, bro, you know what? We can't sleep on this Eagles team. We can't. Because even though everything that's happened this year, this is the moment where you need to get hot. This is the moment. And if we plan on making the playoffs, we need to not only beat Seattle, but we need to beat Washington at home, who is a tough team. We need to beat the Giants at home, who are also a tough team. We need to beat the Cowboys at home, who are a tough team. Speaking of which, for those of you who saw yesterday, Tony Romo gave his speech or held a press conference yesterday, and he was talking about how basically this was his best team, and he basically endorsed Dak, saying this is Dak's job now, okay? This is Dak's team. He said he's earned that right, and it hurt. And as I was watching that, I kind of felt bad for him, man. I was like, Dak, I'm always getting on Tony Romo just because he's a Dallas Cowboy, but I've always loved Tony Romo. Like, I know he's a good man. I know he's a Christian man, you know? Just like Carson Wentz, he's Christian. Just like Russell Wilson, he's Christian. There's a lot of good men in the NFL. Phillip Rivers, I believe he is too. But he's I don't know him personally or everything like that, obviously. If I did, you know, it'd be cool, but it'd be like, oh, I know Tony Romo, yeah. But I felt for him. I felt bad for him. I was like, Dad, bro, this is a good team. And the fact that he has to sit on the sideline and watch some kid do it and take his job away from him, I was like, oh, man, I know that hurts, bro. So I feel for you, Tony, and I don't know where you end up next year, but if you really want a chance to win a Super Bowl before your career is over, maybe you should end up going to Denver. I mean, I know Trevor Simeon's, he's all right, but you would give them their best shot. With that defense, you would give them their best shot to win a Super Bowl, and you'd put yourself in good position too. And, you know, so, hey, man, just saying good luck with whatever it is you're doing. But back to the Eagles game, man. Yeah, everybody needs to step up. This needs to be our New England game. We got to win this game. If we're going to win this game, we got to keep it close, like we did with the Falcons game. At the Falcons game, the Vikings game. We got to keep it close. Score. I'm going to go 27-24. You know what? No. I'm going to go 24-21. I think that might even be reasonable. 24-21. We get down the field. We got to punch it in. That's one of our problems is we can get down the field, but for whatever reason, when we get in the end zone, we get in the red zone, we can't get in the end zone. We need to stop that right now. We need to figure out a way to get in the end zone and stop settling for field goal because against Seattle, you need every point you can get. And I'm not saying if you have the opportunity to kick a field goal, kick the field goal. Don't kick the field goal, but when you, like I said, when you're facing Seattle, you need every point you can get. So if you can't punch it in there, obviously kick the field goal. Sturgis, I don't know what was up with you last week, bruh. What happened to the dude who's making 18 straight? But we need you to show up if we got to kick some field goals, bruh. Okay? But if we're gonna win this game, we gotta have that perfect game, like I said, near perfect game, basically like we did with New England. And if we can beat Seattle, we can pretty much prove that we can hang with anybody in the NFL. Anybody, because remember who we beaten this year, or is big deal. We've beaten the Atlanta Falcons. We've beaten the Steelers. We've beaten the Vikings and that defense. We've beaten teams that we shouldn't be beating, and we're losing to teams we shouldn't be losing, which is weird. But we're beating teams we shouldn't be beating. It's time to add Seattle to that list. In the words of Bill Goldberg, Seattle, you're next. In the words of Brock Lesnar, Seattle, you have been victimized, conquered, and something else he says. I'm mixing WWE in there. Yeah, that's right. We need to win this game. I can see Seattle putting up 24 points. I really can. So if we're going to win this game, we got to at least put up 28. We got to add 4 touchdowns. Maybe 2 from Carson Wentz. Maybe a special teams touchdown. Maybe even a pick 6 for all I know. Get every point you can. So I'm going, but if we're going to keep it close, if we're going to be realistically here, then we got to keep it 24-21. If we're going to win this game, it's going to be 24-21. I believe we can win this game. We can win this game. We should win this game. But everything Seattle has for them, this could be their trap game because the Lions were ours, although we could have won that game. Excuse me. We can do this. We're the masters of the third quarter this year. We come back and we just punch it in. So we need to do that, continue to do that, and we need to figure out to close the game out in the fourth quarter. So 24-21, that's my score. Hopefully we can pull this baby out. And yeah, that's about it. So with that being said, let's go Birds. And if you're not down with that, I've just got 2 words for you, or 3 words. Fly, Eagles, fly.